gentlemen, and welcome to another fantastic weekend of Formula One racing here on the EGL Extreme Gaming League. I'm Tipsy Bob, and joining me on the mic is my trusty sidekick and my good friend, Dad Pants. Covering all the action today, we're going to be covering everywhere from Monaco, Singapore, Abu Dhabi, and Bahrain, all across the world, all across the country. We have a full grid lined up, some of the best talent around the world. We have plucked them from all corners of the earth to give you some of the greatest racing experience viewing footage you'll ever see in your lifetime. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the EGL. There we go, and all the cars are all lining up on the grid. They're all getting ready. The drivers will be focusing on their first corner. Are they going to take it? What are they going to do? Is it going to go deep? Are they going to go? Who knows? Let's take out and away we go! DRS is still active, and if Timo wants to get this moved on, he's gonna need to use this DRS zone because I have a feeling. Oh no, Timo comes under the pressure in the traction zone. My friends from another overtake on 23 mark. This is round 3.
And Timo are oh, it's the pit. Oh no! Oh my god, this is so sorry, control myself. So Timo
I wouldn't be going to penalty too, so they can stand at the back together again, just like Timo likes it.
How many times? Did you see how many times Timo tried to get into the pit?
Hello and welcome to the SLR Tier 4 race. We had a nice wind blow from Kebab joining me in the commentary box. SLR Tier 4 round 16 here at Singapore. Coming very close in the season, very close to the final race at Abu Dhabi. But we have another night race first at the streets of Marina Bay. Kebab, as you heard from the very nice blowing into the mic, is joined by me today. Hello, Kebab.
Apologies for that. Yeah, welcome everybody. Please let us know in the chat channel if there's any issues with the game at all. Looks like we've been told that we've not got any game sound, but yeah, looking forward to an interesting and exciting race here in Singapore. It's a very difficult track, lots of walls to contend with. So we'll maybe seeing a few DNFs, a few guys already in the chat there saying that they're going to go for 3 or 4 DNFs from X Crystals.
I just saw a Ferrari come out the pit lane and spin, and then rejoin the pit, like coming out of their pit box.
Okay, I mean,
AI.
I didn't see that.
AI are crazy.
I believe you.
It was
Oh,
on
did that
stream.
Oh well. People are out of the pits now and getting the qualifying underway. We've got Dr. Uther heading the pack in that Ferrari. Was he the guy who spun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The AI, typical Ferrari, says Vittorius in the chat. So, hello everyone in the chat joining us for today's race. Typical Ferrari indeed, but there's a typical AlphaTauri who's our first spin of the day, not even on the lap, and he's got massive wing damage to the right hand side of that car. And the AlphaTauri of Lampros already kicking off the action at the Singapore Grand Prix.
Oh, he just hits another wall there. Probably takes a bit more of that wing off.
Not looking good for the AlphaTauri.
No. And this track is a real struggle with any kind of damage as well, and it's very, very easy to pick up some damage if you just make the slightest mistake. So I imagine we'll see a lot of extra pit stops from people today and some mixed up strategies.
Yeah, indeed. I'm gonna go on with Dr. Ufa, who is gonna be the first driver to start his lap. We'll follow him around the circuit. You want to be starting on the hard compound, on the medium, sorry. In this particular occasion, most drivers will. There will be some people that are starting on softs, trying to make the soft hards work, and I think it can work. But the softs just degrade a bit too much. We're going to watch Dr. Uta come around the first sector here. Very difficult couple of corners, the first few. Especially the last one, turn 3. You've got to make sure that you don't lose the car. I think I'm going to hope I've put up the right graphic there. I don't think I have.
It's a Drivers' Championship. So yeah, let's talk about that for a little bit. We've got definitely Bot in the lead at the moment, kind of thing. The last couple of races, Ace Boy has battled him, but definitely Bot's got the consistency there to win this championship. But still all to play for as we're heading into the business end of the season. Still up for grabs, but the Constructors' Championship up there as well. Renault have a good 85 points, it looks like, over Mercedes at the moment at the top of that leaderboard there as well. So as we're coming around 16 to 22, there's that leaves what? This is the
16.
This leaves 6 races remaining, that right? Yeah, including this one. So still plenty of time to catch up and plenty of points on the board there. And anything can happen in Formula One, as we know.
Yep, and Lampros has retired from the session, so I don't know if he's done that in the pit lane.
It looks like he has, yeah. Is there AlphaTauri in the pit? And well, it's not floor, so
Dr. Ufa is going to settle out, but it's a 37.4. I think we're seeing some faster times than that. There's a racing point. Is that Chief? It is Chief. He's going to finish his lap. It's a 36.7. You can see the track record on your screen. It is Icewind with a 30. It's El Sergios with a 33.8 on season 1. Of the whole entire SLR championship, the SLR league. Only OGs remember that. I certainly don't.
We've seen sometimes come in now, kind of thing. And obviously, with a few medium runners in there, we're seeing rather higher times. But there's a 34.7 from Oops there, put himself in first place, coming in as a reserve driver. Maybe thought he'd possibly be too quick for this tier, and he's kind of laid down a marker there with a very quick time. 2 seconds ahead of Ocean Chief there in second place.
Yeah, so proving he's worth a seat, and I think at this pace, 2 seconds ahead of his nearest competitor. Nico's on the mediums at the 37.1, but yeah, he's showing his pace as Snelly Henke in the racing point goes up to P2, and the mediums gets the front driver definitely Bot on the mediums, who is in second place. So the tyre wear's a big issue around here. The softs are 1 second faster when the tyres are no wear, but once you've done run on those softs, they're about the same as the mediums. So that shows, according to the game, obviously, that just shows the degradation over time in these.
Yep, it was the
on
same
that
last
size.
year. I haven't done much practice myself around this track yet, so I haven't really had a chance to test the tyres out and see what they're capable of in this game. But last game it was a pretty simple medium-hard strategy because the softs just didn't last any more than 3-4 laps around here, really. Yeah, we are starting to see some of the better times come in now. The thing is about oops there on the softs as well, kind of thing. If you set that time on the softs, you may not be able to beat that on the mediums, and could then be in trouble in the race because you'll have to start on the softs, whereas other drivers may be in a much better position starting on the mediums.
Yeah, but Ace puts himself up into P3. He lets the Ferrari through, but too close to the Apex Ace as he makes his way around to do his in-lap. Let's try and find someone on the lap as a Roglio in the pits. Max looks to be on another lap with 30% ERS. There's a Mercedes spun. That is not off Bot, that's off Tortska, who is spun. He's getting on the way for the Red Bull at the first corner of the second sector.
Missing a large bit of wing there as well. We're going to see more of that today. Lots of people making a slight mistake there, especially as they're pushing on these qualifying laps and just hitting a wall, going a little bit too early. If you make a mistake here, it's punishing, essentially.
Yep. So unfortunate for Tortska, who is going to have to pull back into the pit lane and get that front wing changed. So I've been told in chat that our new boy on the block, the Williams, the Williams,
Oops, that's how you say it. Yeah,
yep.
it's basically oops.
He has apparently done a 32.8 in time trial.
That is impressive.
But it is time trial. It's max conditions. It's a max grip the whole way around. I think that's the thing that people forget to factor in, that there's no tire wear. So by the end of the lap, you have the same wear than you started. So it doesn't really make a difference. Whereas this, you come across the line and you've got 6% of wear on your tires on your softs. So there is a
other
big difference.
factors that kind of play into the whole thing, kind of thing. So it's not kind of as simple as we're saying, well, TT's a second faster because different tracks are different, in different nature of the tracks, kind of thing, kind of can mean different things. But generally, yeah, TT times quicker in general on the whole in the game are a fair bit quicker than anybody can manage in qualifying.
Yep.
But there's other things. Sometimes the tyre wear can help you out and warm up the tyres, for example, kind of thing. Warmer tyres can sometimes mean with your setup that you can get around a certain corner quicker than you can in TT and things like that kind of thing. So it's all about essentially feeling the track and the conditions at the time. Still haven't got any kind of idea of what the conditions are going to be like in the race. I think we've got dry qualifying throughout, but anybody in chat who's crew chiefing, please let us know.
I think it'll be a dry race, otherwise these drivers will be on softs and not on the medium compound.
Very true.
Yeah, but the thing you were saying about tire temps and TT, I think it automatically sets it at I think it's 100 degrees, which is the optimum tire temp to do a lap in. I don't know whether I think that's true. Someone in chat will probably correct me if I'm wrong. But let's run on board of this Williams driver, see how he handles the corners of Marina Bay. And no short shift up in the fifth to get a wide exit. He's gonna come up the back straight now to the end of sector 1. He's 3 tenths down on his soft compound tyre time, so he might have made a mistake in the middle sector on his softs if he feels confident enough to go out here and do his time, unless he is saving this for a final run at the end of the session, which I wouldn't quite understand why. But he's going to come through the famous Singapore sling and through this very awkward corner. Very hard to get traction if you run over that curb. You can't really go full throttle, or you have to short shift a lot. He's now down into first with a hairpin and tries to get a good exit, and not really short shifting, but he gets a good exit nevertheless. And he is half a tenth down, so he's gained 2.5 tenths throughout that middle sector, so a nice one. And then it's a very technical part of sector 3 now, a bit of a lockup as he comes up into the first part. He's going to come under the bridge, the Anderson Bridge. Make sure you don't lock up and go straight into the wall like Ricardo did in 2013. And we're going to come through the final chicane now on the run up to the final corner all the way around. He's gonna go. He's gonna cross the line, and he does not improve. Barely. I'll put the best now on instead of fitted, so you can see what lap time people have done on their tires, and he stays. His fastest lap is still.
He was only what 2/100ths away from his time on the soft. So if he had set that time on the mediums to begin with, he would very easily be in pole on the medium tires by almost 8/10.
Yep. So we are gonna see what he can do maybe near the end of the session, if he can get there and beat that time.
Ocean Chief beats his time and puts himself P3 on the mediums there with a 36.3. Ocean Chief coming down back into tier 4 here for this race. He's got a full-time seat once again in with Racing Point in tier 4. Is going to maybe put a spanner in the works of this championship here, because he could be in contention here for a high points place with this qualifying position, with this qualifying that we've seen from him today.
Yep.
Looks as though he's going for a second run as well.
He's still in the hot lap mode, and he still is running around the circuit at decent pace.
Certainly doesn't look like he's saving these tyres at all. But I'm not too sure if you only get the one set of mediums here for qualifying.
You only do get the one set.
So, wondering if Ocean Chief's got a crew chief today who is surely screaming at him at the moment, telling him to save those tyres, but may not be the case. Icewind is usually that man. Wondering if he's around today. I'm sure I've seen him in chat. I have, yeah. But
he's getting held up here, if he wasn't a lap, by the house of Lepson.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
And Lepson pits, so I don't know whether Chief will be too happy about that one.
Wonder if Chief was just trying to get back so he could maybe get another run in before the end of qualifying, because there's not a lot of time left on the table now. It is a long track, one of the longest on the calendar, I'm sure.
And Pretorius hasn't followed me in chat that I said the Anderson Bridge, but the Anderson Bridge is before turn 13. So apparently I do not know my corner names. So thank you, Pretorius, for the correction. I'll bear that in mind.
Yeah, I couldn't name a single corner around here. I'm picking them up as we go along, as you name them, to be honest. So, yeah, Anderson Bridge, right, that's noted. For future
before
reference.
turn 13, so that's before the hairpin. We've got a Ferrari spun. We have Ever Snacks a lot going a bit too far off. And it's Dr. Uther again, and more from Win Flying.
Ever Snacks was just getting out of the way of T-Easy, who's on a lap here in the McLaren. He'll be certainly looking to get much further up the grid than he is at the moment. He's third in the championship at the moment.
Is he? That's well good from the McLaren.
Certainly is. Came late to the party as well, so it's been an impressive few drives from him in recent races.
He's a second up on his soft time, so that would put him only 3 positions for a second improvement. Someone just improved. Is the AlphaTauri of Floor? He goes P7 on the mediums, so not a bad time. He put in a 36.9. Can T as a Roglu now cross the line and see what he can
Missed
do?
a couple of apexes here in Sector 3. It's not as smooth as you maybe would have liked it. But I'm certainly will beat his soft time.
He's in 5th through there, but he goes P7. Defron's Floor behind Ever Snack, so he goes P7 on this particular occasion. And Noofs is not out on the circuit, so a 34.7 looks to be... Oh, he's just coming out the pit lane now, but I don't think he has enough time to...
Well, we've got the spectator bug most likely, so we may have a minute extra on top of that.
I completely forgot about that.
He may just make it. Yeah, a minute and a half longer to get round to here in an out lap.
And is Lepson's coming up behind Flaw. We're just trying to look for a few people on a lap. Flaw is not, as a Roglu looks to be on the second. he's going fast. He's still in hot lap, but only
Got
40.
very little ERS left though. Only 17%.
Yeah, and missing apexes left, right, and centre. So I don't think it's going to be a particularly great lap on this occasion, as he's going to open DRS.
Max has managed to put himself P3 there on
yeah.
the medium with 35.7. A great lap from him.
As Ruglu is going up, he is up on his time as he flies through the streets of Marina Bay. And he, Dr. Uther does retire from the session, so that'll be the end of the road for him. It looks like he's retired at the exit of the final chicane, the penultimate corner. Ace Boy is retired, and as a Ruglu invalidates, yeah, but he's just gone straight into the wall. So the second
Looks like
time,
he's lost it on the track in there, yeah. As Ezeroglu comes into the pit, so he'll not be setting a lap. But Eversnacks in 7th place at the moment is on a lap. As he comes in under Anderson Bridge at the moment into the final sector, hits that apex nicely and maybe runs a little too much curb there. Doesn't hit the apex on the final corner, penultimate corner, I should say. But a nice cut and early on the power on this final corner. He does improve up into P4, half a tenth.
Let's try and find someone else. I think there's an Alfa Romeo, but is that boosted mess? It is. Going to cross the line. He puts himself P18. He invalidated, I think, or did he improve? I don't know. Either way, it's not good enough to improve himself any further positions. Danny pulls into the pits. Tilde's not. Tilde's going to come across the line. It's P9 for Tilde, and another Alfa Romeo crossing the line. And that's Shaka. Doesn't improve. Oh no, he's starting his lap. So the timing glitch has really caught me off guard. As Hesse SX going to cross the line, goes P7 on the soft compound tyres. And it looks alright to me.
He had his debut here last week, I think, at Monza, and had a decent showing. Finished around the midfield.
There's Oops is 9 temps up as he comes through the middle sector. So he's on for a 33, no doubt, as he comes through these final couple of corners under the bridge.
But he is opting for the softs here, so that'll be interesting to see how this strategy plays out for him, even if he is much quicker, whether or not the strategy is going to not work in his favour because he's starting on those soft tyres.
Well, he's going to come around the final corner now, hold in 7th, and it's a 33.5. And that beats the record that we had before.
Certainly does. Certainly does. It was bound to be beating that record because the cars are just much quicker this year. Looks as though Shaka might be the only person left on a lap here. No, Ocean Chief is as well, but he's gone very deep into Singapore sling there. See Shaka coming at the final sector. Shaka has invalidated, so that's the end of his qualifying by the looks of things. Ocean Chief now comes into the final corner. He's coming in as well. Doesn't look like he's going to improve on his time, so abandons the lap. So that looks like it may be it for qualifying. As Tilda is the only person left on track by the looks of it. He's coming into the pits as well. So yeah, that's it for qualifying. So we've got Oops in pole on the soft tyre, definitely blocked. On the medium tyre, who's going to be favoured for this with the favourite tyre here to take the lead early and hang on to it, I suppose. Let us know in chat what you guys think. Who your winner of the day is going to be. We've also got Ocean Chief looking there. He's always been very clean. Cleanliness is going to matter a lot around here. Avoiding those walls, avoiding damage, avoiding incidents. Let us know in chat what your predictions are. High chance of a safety car at Singapore as well. So that's going to be interesting to see how that's going to play out. Still with me, Bailey? Like we've lost Bailey for a moment. Not entirely sure what's happened there. But anyway, here we have the starting grid for the Singapore Grand Prix. We've got Oops in first place, definitely Bot in second, and Max running out the starting on the second row with Eversnacks also alongside of him. Chief and Ace Boy make up the third row of the grid with he's SX and Snellhanky behind. Tiazuru and Tilda round out the top 10. Disappointing, maybe, qualifying here for Danny, who's way down in 17th place. Not a great time, and Great Lap Ross didn't set a time, retired early on. So, that's our starting grid for the single Grand Prix. We'll get on the way with a formation lap soon, and hopefully we'll get Bailey back. Please let us know if everything's okay on the stream side of things in chat.
Oh, okay.
So,
Wait, is it back? Can you hear me?
you are back. Yes, I
Okay.
can hear you again.
Okay, alright, there we go then.
Currently got the constructors standings on the screen at the moment. But yeah, welcome back, Bailey. Technical issues.
Yeah, man. Well, I just had a firework go off.
Well, happens at this time of the year.
Oh yes, it's the 4th of November. Completely forgot.
Certainly is. We're thankful for this country in England here that it only happens one time of the year, because in other countries, in Greece for example, it's pretty much all year round fireworks going off.
Yep.
You can find it just the 1 week of the year around.
I'm just gonna hear bang, bang all the way through this stream.
Okay.
We got Oops. Everyone's saying Oops gonna win. If I'm honest. But you know, I don't really like to give it to the person that got pole. You know, Bot's gonna win. because
The honest thing, anything can happen. Oops, he's quick. We've seen that from the qualifying and things, but we've also seen in the past that the quickest doesn't always necessarily win. It's whether or not Oops has got the cleanliness to do it, and also whether he's got the strategy as well. Because starting on the soft.
Okay. What has happened to Bot on the? And he's he's been.
So that's unusual.
As soon as I say, "Oh, Bot," I'll say he'll win. He spins and gets disqualified from the formation lap. He's going to be starting on cold tyres, so Bob, come on.
Yeah, and he's at the front of the grid on the cold tyres as well, so that's going to create a concertina effect that could cause mayhem here at the beginning of this race. Because the start of this Singapore race is ripe for incidents with cars jostling for position on such a tight track with walls either side. So yeah, that's not going to be playing into his hands very much, but Oops will be loving that, because on the soft tyre with the extra grip that he's going to get from those, making a great start. The same with the Eversnacks as well, and he's as well the only other driver to go for the softs as well. Everybody else opting for the mediums here.
Yeah, but I think Oops might have shot himself in the foot with the fact that he is on those soft compound tyres, because if Max and definitely Bot can keep up with him, I'll stay within about 2 seconds. After about 4 or 5 laps, those drivers are definitely going to catch up to him, and for the remainder of that stint, he will be slower. So I understand the logic.
Right.
He wants
We've seen that
position.
Oops in qualifying was maybe 2 seconds quicker on the softs compared to the guys on the mediums. So if he can pull out 2 seconds a lap for 5 laps, that's a 10-second gap. That may stand him in good stead when he switches over to the hards.
Yeah.
But he will be on the hards a lot earlier, so that at the end of the race they're going to be coming right back at him with fresher tyres.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see it play out. It all depends on as well on the first laps kind of thing here, and how it all plays out, because definitely Bob could lose out quite a bit here with these cold tyres. So interesting to see how this start's going to play out. Very interesting.
Yep, we've got Oops now lining up on the front row. It's the AlphaTauri of Great Lampos. You can see him. He's going to come around the final corner. So the Haas is lining up last of laps on though. We're about to get underway for the Singapore Grand Prix.
Yep.
We're
I'll
preparing
keep an eye on the back
now.
of the grid.
We are preparing now, and we are not currently underway. Apparently got a yellow flag in sector 1. Alright, cars are revving up now. And it's lights out, and away we go. And Oops puts it straight in a second. And definitely Bot can't really challenge there. It's a 3-wide moment behind as they jostle for track position on this opening lap. Definitely Bot is lagging all over the place. I'm sure his competitors will be enjoying that. The 2 racing points going side by side. No real contact as we look through the field. Definitely Bot has lost 3 positions. He's lost a lot of positions now. And he's around. And he's into the wall. and definitely bought into the wall at the end of the first lap. We have side by side between Snail Husky and Ace Boy, as Snail Husky's going up the inside. This is for fourth position now, as it's turned to the outside for the Racing Point driver, and it looks as though the position is Ace Boy's. There's contact there between the AlphaTauri and the McLaren, both going into the wall. George Russell and Romain Grosjean style. Tosca and Tilda ghosting through each other. Now they're going to go side by side through the Singapore sling, and Dr. Ether going all the way around the outside, and puts himself into position 15 on the first lap. Heskey and Ezeroglu going side by side. That was into the hairpin, and they're now going to go onto the run up here as Ezeroglu wants to get in front of the soft compound runner, but he locks up to Heskey and into the wall he goes, and that's going to allow Ezeroglu and Nico through. And they're still going side by side with Nico, but he sweeps around the outside and takes that position. Some Shaka and Danny were having a look side by side now. Danny manages to hold the position for this time being. Greg Lampos has a look at Shaka, and it looks like it's holding position for the first couple of laps. Hoops, with a 2.3 second gap over Max, leads the way at the end of the first lap.
Yep, lots of action there on the first lap, as we expected. Lots of people bumping walls there. I think Ezek's got away with that one slightly. He doesn't look like he's got any damage after hitting that, going deep into that right hand there before the Singapore sling. But yeah, lots of changes there. Definitely got big lose on that. What's going on?
Yeah, speaking of definitely bought, he almost turned it into the Haas of Lepson and almost put him into a spin. So the two drivers fighting hard to get their positions back on the first lap. Nico 2 tenths behind Ezeroglu, and the train between Eversnacks a lot is already beginning to start. Eversnacks on those soft compound tyres, and the drivers behind want to get past them as fast as they can.
Yep, and big winners here from these opening laps. Floor's done extremely well to gain 4 positions, and Danny up 6 at the moment. He's already vying for points here after a disappointing qualifying, but still all to play for here. We've got the interval bug here going on. But, he's Exo soft tyres didn't seem to work out much for him. He's dropped a few positions, but Eversnacks and Ups are going to interesting to see when those two guys pit. We've got Tilda, the only guy who's pitted so far at the moment. He's gone straight onto the hards from the mediums. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get those to the end. Don't think so.
Try. You can just see as you run on board of Ace Boy how much faster he is through these corners. Ace just trying to have a look through and trying to find a way through on that on the soft compound runner. Max with a great start. I think he was position 4, I believe, and he got himself up into P2. Yep. So great work from the Ferrari, but it's a Ferrari, so he will spin inevitably.
No, way to jinx him there, Bailey. Eh? But yeah, just we told him from Pretorius and chat that Max's highest finish has been a 3rd place, and that was in Vietnam, so a long time ago in the championship as well. So here
we go, Ace. Ace,
right.
He's getting closer. Ace up the inside of Eversnacks a lot. Finally, he's been shaping him up for the last lap, and he gets ahead, but behind as well. Snail Henke can taste an opportunity and has a look. Can't make anything of it. The AlphaTauri looking very happy to try and get past Chief there. Can't make anything of it. Definitely Bot did disconnect from the session. I didn't see that, but he is back now.
Yep. It looks like he was having some issues at the start there, lagging out and things. For me, is I see some carbon fibre flying there between Shaka Glampros and Keys X. I'm not sure if that was carbon fibre or not. Sometimes the game can be deceiving. Yeah, it does look like we've lost the intervals again for the time being. But things seem to be settling down a little bit. A couple of big gaps forming. Between Danny and the rest of the top 10, so between 9 and 10 there's a large gap there, and there's obviously Tilda's way off the back of the pack at the moment, but Oops is stretching his lead a bit here, but as we've seen here, as Ace Boy overtook Eversnacks, the mediums are already kind of getting in with the range of softs and pace of the softs, so we'll wonder if that gap from 5-second gap to Oops from Max is going to close in a bit soon. I'm not sure if we've lost Bailey again, but yeah, we've got the intervals back at least. Yeah, some tight battles going on here. Snell Henke now on the inside of Eversnacks, gets the move done, pushes Eversnacks a little bit wide there. I'm not sure if he had to go so wide, but he's now under attack from Ocean Chief as well, who gets the inside for the next corner and should get the move done. It's a bit jittery there, Eversnacks. He may be struggling a little bit on those softs now. Doesn't look as though Oops is struggling as much. Keys SX now down to 14th place. Something must have happened there for him. Not going well as he overtakes the Great Lampros, who looks as though he's got his entire front wing missing. So he'll be holding up a few drivers behind there. He locks up nastily there. So yeah, Great Lampros again, another week where he's had a major incident, lost his wing and had to pit. And Singapore takes no prisoners in those circumstances. Yeah, looks like we still haven't got Bailey back at the moment, as Dr. Uther is very close here, as Zyken gets past the Great Lampros as well, as a few drivers are going to be looking to make their way past this very slow car here, as he goes very wide into that. Finding it difficult just to stay out of the way. Oh, as there's Lepson is round as well in the Anderson Bridge, and he breaks his wing off entirely. He's going to have to pit as well, so not going well for either of the I think there's Eversnacks now in the pit. He pits very early there from the softs kind of thing, so first of the soft runners to pit. Let's see if Oops is going to be doing the same, because it doesn't look as though he's creating extending the gap to Max anymore. That looks as though it's going to start to close in again. Nico looking at the back of floor now. He looks like on the inside there, but thinks better of it. Loses it a little bit there on the exit there. Gets a little bit sideways, but manages to control it. It's Great Lambros and Lepson both pitting to deal with that damage there. Definitely Bot languishing all the way at the back of the pack at the moment. He needs a safety car to get back into this one. A few drivers might be thinking that at the moment, but you never know when we can get one. Bailey is streaming, yes, chat asks, but he seems to have lost his having mic issues with him at the moment. Can't hear everything he's saying. Just a couple of rustles every now and again. I'm sure he'll be back soon once he figured out what the problem is. Till then, I'm on my own. So Nico's now possibly looking to make a move. Doesn't look like it might happen here, but TS Rugglers close behind this pack here. There's a little bit of a train going on between these three drivers and floor. As we're starting to see gaps forming left, right and centre now, as pockets of space are opening up all around the track. Seem to have lost Bailey's mic. Isn't working, he says in chat, so looks like I'm on my own for the time being. So yeah, Torska maybe lining up a move here on Shaka on the next straight with DRS. He just needs to get a good run through these this first sector. Yeah, half a second behind, he may not get it done. Boosted Mess gets past He's X as well, as He's X pits on the soft, so he's the second of the soft runners to pits, going for the hards as well. It's like Eversnacks went for the medium, so Eversnacks might be going for a medium, soft, medium strategy here. And he's actually going for the soft hard. Torska doesn't manage to get that move done, but still hanging in with within DRS range, as is T Easy on Nico and Chief on Snell Henke, his teammate. Be interesting to see what these two guys do here when it comes to pitting time, because whoever's in front here gets to make the decision of when to pit. Otherwise, they're going to end up holding each other up in the pit lane, which is going to do one of them favours. See what they do here. But I'm not sure exactly how long the mediums will go for when the pit strategy is due to go, but it's surely a few laps yet. But Oops is probably almost certainly looking to pit, and he does come into the pit this lap now, so he's going to lose lead of the race temporarily. Let's see what kind of tyres he goes on to, though. Is he going to go for the soft hard or the soft medium? Let's see. Let's also see where he's going to come out with. He's going to have to contend getting through some traffic here, almost certainly until the medium runners pit, which is still a while off. He's going to go for the hards, so interesting choice from him. So not going to have to pit again for the end of this race. I'm thinking. So, got a little bit of noise there, but it's very crackly and staticky there from Bailey. Doesn't look as though those problems are over yet. So Nico is currently close on the back of Floor still. I'm wondering if he's going to look to get this move done, or whether he's going to go for the undercut or something like that to maybe get past his rival on track here. Snell and Henke now up to P3 and P4. And Ace Boy has somehow managed to get past Max. We didn't miss that on track as well. So Ace Boy has done extremely well there. Now in the provisional pole lead of this race kind of thing. And with Oops being maybe the only person who can contend him down in the 13th place after that early pit stop. It'll be interesting to see how the rest of this race plays out strategy-wise. Is Ace Boy going to be able to create a huge gap here? And very interesting to see how this plays out in terms of the championship as well, because definitely Bot not having a great race today, down in 16th, out of the points. If Ace Boy gets the win here, could be massive for the championship. Bailey back again. We can't hear you. Yeah.
This mic, man,
Seems to be
I'm
much
actually
improved
gonna...
Seems to be much improved, so glad to have you back. Get back to the action on track. It looks as though maybe Shaka is going for a move here on Torska as he gets it done, yes. Torska maybe picks up a warning as he goes wide to avoid any contact and things there, but Shaka up into the points playing positions. Nice move from him.
Right.
Danny also in 8th place at the moment.
Right, so
Doing well.
we got Mike's working now. Ace Boy got ahead of Max now. We got a yellow flag. It's Ferrari. It's Dr. Utho's around. Now he's around the back straight. No damage there. Nico and Flo have been battling for the last couple of laps. Nico not being able to make anything of it. I've been catching everything you've been trying to say there. As it was happening. But yeah. Where is... Because Oops is now on the hard compound tyres. He's done that pretty early though, so everyone's going to be on fresh compound tyres
Bit
now.
of contact there between Nico and Floor as the Floor gets the move back on Nico there. Just bumps him as they go around the right-hander there before the Singapore sling. But makes it stick.
Oops goes around the outside of Azakin at the corner where Nico and Floor had their contact. And he gets that move done, so he's showing that he definitely
got some pace there on these hards then, definitely. So he's looking to cut his way through the field, but there are some big gaps here, so without DRS to help him catch up between the gaps kind of thing, it's going to be proved more difficult. Definitely Bot, already seen how much he's struggled to get through the pack there.
Lepson's around once again on the mini-map.
That's unfortunate. Looking here, he looks as though he's got more wing damage there as well. So Singapore claiming a few drivers here who struggling to keep it clean lap after lap kind of thing.
Nico, he has a look at the inside, but he just never goes for it. He can outbrake the driver, but he's going for it now on the outside, but he backs out of it once again. So Nico, definitely not one of the more adventurous drivers that we have on this grid. He's definitely more reserved. And looks for the perfect opportunity instead of just a opportunity.
Yep, and he's got to get past at some point soon, because otherwise he's inviting T-Easy to kind of get involved in this battle, and making it 3 wide in some of these corners is going to make it even infinitely more dangerous. So he really wants to get past at some point here, and try and keep Floor behind, so that Floor is the one that has to fight with T-Easy.
Yep, T-Easy sounds like some rap name. I'm not a very good rapper now, but it's on those SoundCloud.
T-Easy's proven his worth as a driver. Certainly he's doing well to get back up to the points playing positions here and stay within the battle kind of thing. Snell Henke is already caught at the back of Max here, who's fallen off Ace Boy quite a bit there. So pace showing out as Max pits by the looks of things.
Yep, yeah, he does. He'll be going onto the hearts.
Early pit there, I think maybe for for the medium tyres. I'm not sure how long they can go. But yeah, the Terregnator says he's struggling. He maybe had damage there, so I'm wondering if he did have damage and kind of thing. I'm not sure if I can see. No, I missed whether or not you got a wing change or anything, but it doesn't seem to have it coming out. So if you did get a wing change, it doesn't seem to have lost all that much time. We're expecting him to come out will be P13, P14.
Yep, and we're going to see who's going on Totska now. Down the straight, at the curve, and he gets up before the braking zone, so good move from the Williams driver, our effective leader. And he continues on his way to try and try and win this race.
Sure, the pit stops costs quite a bit of time around here at Singapore, because long tracks generally do, and it is a fairly long pit straight as well, kind of thing. But oops, there's only 20 seconds off the leader at the moment, so he could very well be taking back the lead of this race after the next round of pit stop. And he is in a one stop, so it'll be interesting to see if he can keep those guys behind when he comes out, if he comes out in first place, kind of thing, on the older tyres, because he's certainly going to have a few extra laps on those hard tyres compared to the medium runners.
Yep. It's really just that flawed Nico and Nezaroglu that are kind of close on the circuit. Obviously we have Oops there going through the field to just for trap position and for passing the drivers that haven't pitted yet. Next up is his teammate Danny. So I wonder whether Danny's just going to let him through and not make it too difficult. We have a VSC as Great Lampos retires.
Lampros retires, yeah. He seems to have retired on track, lost it into sector 2 there. So yeah.
After the Singapore sling, might have just lost the rear there. He has left the session. We have a VSC, and Azakin takes full advantage, pitting under it and strapping on a set of hards.
Yep. And driver behind Dr. Russo's doing the same. So a few drivers trying to take advantage of this. His boosted message looks like he's also coming in as well.
And Azakin's going to get a full free stop under the VSC conditions. So it'll be a lot slower. The pits a lot faster will the pit stop be, and everyone else's will probably be about 10 seconds longer. So Azakin is gonna really make an impact now as we are back under green flag conditions. And Floor has gained 1.2 seconds on Nico, just on the jump on the restart. So Nico no longer within the DRS range of the AlphaTauri. It's a great work by Floor.
Means he's going to come under pressure now from T-Easy, but he's at 1.8 behind now, so there could be a little bit of a race now to see who's got enough resources at this stage to get back into the race. As Nico is already within 1.1, could very well get back up there. So to get past his teammate.
Yeah, I was just
Danny?
that. Danny has wing damage. I think we saw that earlier in the race.
Yeah, he is missing an end plate. I'm wondering if he's that happened early and he's just decided to drive on and not replace that.
Ace retires. Snell Hinky retires. Pitts not retires. I hope he retires.
I was going to say. So see where they come out now then. So Ocean Chief and Nico decided to stay out for an extra lap there. Obviously Ocean Chief had to because Snell was pitting, so he couldn't go in this lap.
And Noob is way ahead of the other race leader, Ace Boy. So looking at this, the other tiers will be looking at this and seeing that Oops has gone on the soft compound tyre. So if you do have the massive pace advantage, it might be worth it. Go on the softs, get that gap up. I think you've got it at 5 seconds. And
the thing about Tier 4 in that though is Tier 4 is unique in that like there is generally a bigger divide between the pace of the drivers here, especially with a few reserves coming in that are relatively quick as they come here first. As we see here from Oops kind of thing, he's come here as a reserve first and he's in Tier 4. He's clearly very quick, much quicker than most of the drivers in this tier, so it would be very doubtful that he would reserve for this tier again. He would most likely reserve for the higher tiers. In the upper tiers, you're going to see very little difference between P1 and P10, like less than a second maybe. As you see, most of the drivers are it's a much tighter grid. Most of the drivers are more equal in terms of talent, skill level, and pace.
Well, how does he use any assists? Like that's my question. I mean, if he doesn't use any assists, I think we'll see him in tier 1 very soon. But obviously if he does, tier 2 would definitely be the place for him.
Yeah, I'm unsure on that, to be honest. I'm sure chat can give us more information on that. But yeah, it looks like Tilda's looking at the back of his icon for a move at the moment. As he's looking towards maybe hunting out a points-paying position. There's still a long time to go yet in this race. 13 laps out of 31. One of the longest races on the calendar this, and a lot can still happen. Anything can maybe mix up this race a fair bit at the moment. Oops does take the lead of the race back after everybody pits. Well, Shaka's still yet to pit, but looks like he's going for try and extend that medium run as long as he can.
Yep. So we're on lap 13 of 31, so quite a long way to go yet. The longest race on the calendar this one is. Usually you're here for an hour racing, if it's a full wet condition. About 59 minutes if you're in the dry. So depends on how many safety cars there is. Obviously we've had the one VSC. It's really helped Azakin out, I would say, to get to his position. I think he was behind Torska, Danny and people like that, but now he's ahead to P11.
Nice boy. On the back of Shaka at the moment, he'll be looking to get past Shaka fairly quickly.
Ooh, almost going to the back of him.
The back of him into the hairpin. Yep, Chief picks up a time penalty, and I'm wondering if a few of those are going to come into play near the end and maybe shuffle positions around. But with the gaps as they are at the moment, I'm sure it won't be too dramatic. Nothing like Timo in Austria, for example, in tier 2. But
Timo and Monza.
Yeah. Timo at any track, really, to be honest.
Timo.
A train forming here behind his icon is Tilda still hasn't managed to get past him. And Danny is now caught up at the back of them. But I was saying most people have made their stops now at the moment, and most people will be going till the end. Either Snacks is the only one who's gone for a 2-stop strategy here. He's on the mediums at the moment, starting on the softs. He will have to pit again. It looks as though maybe coming soon as the soft mediums only seem to be lasting anywhere between 10 and 13
we
laps.
have a yellow in sector 3. It's a Ferrari on the main straight, and I believe that's Max who's spun and he's in the wall. He spun at the final corner and he's reversed down the track and he gets underway again. He's going to come and rejoin just ahead of Azakin, or is he? Is Azakin going to be let through? He is. So what is, as Max takes
gone very wide,
he's got very little front wing on that Ferrari. And like I said, oh no, I jinxed him. I said at the start that he's a Ferrari, he'll spin.
The commentator curse strikes again.
14 laps later, here we are with no front wing in P15.
Tilda's still unable to get past his icon here. And Danny looking very closely at the back of Tilda now as well, kind of thing, putting pressure on, keeps the pressure on Tilda. Can't afford to make a mistake here because he'll take out too many people.
Max has gone straight on into the barrier. And one of the corners, he underestimated how much wing he had. There is Lepson around under the bridge, coming into the hairpin. And he's going to get going once again. We'll see him around the corner. There he is. As he's going to come around the hairpin. A lot of spins in this race. Azakin coming really under pressure by the Williams. Flaws coming, putting pressure on Eversnacks a lot. They'll get the DRS first. So it's we're going to run on board with these guys.
I'm following on board with Max at the moment, and it's horrifying. It's really sad to watch because at the moment he's having a really good race, and then one spin at the beginning of the lap, and he's got to do an entire lap with 0 front wing, and he's just lost every position on track before he even gets in the pits. It's very unfortunate for
Danny
him.
and Tild going side by side in the first corner, and Danny gets the move done. Eversnacks and Floor gets the move done.
Tilda, they're paying the price for not being able to get the move done on his icon early enough. He loses out to Danny, and he may then lose out on his icon as well because of it. Because Danny looks as though he's looking racy here, and he wants to get past his icon as well. Is he going to make a move?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, he's
gonna
gonna go
late
the
braking,
inside.
He is.
And,
And
he
he
does
gets
it
it done as well.
nice.
So yeah, good racing there from Danny. He's going to be hard pushed to close the gap to T-Easy now. 13-second gap left there. But he's on the hunt now to catch up with his usual points-paying positions.
Yep. He will be on the hunt. Moves with a 11 seconds gap now. 11-second gap, which is quite mad.
Steadily increasing that gap lap after lap. So as long as he can keep it clean and tidy and consistent, he should win this race. But obviously all matters what happens behind as well.
Yeah.
As the bigger gap forms, there's less and less chance of a safety car coming out. But at any stage, anybody can lose it around here on their own. So
Yep.
safety car could really put a spanner in Oops' works.
I haven't had
It
many.
would be a major oops, we could say. As the dad jokes come out in full
Welcome
force.
to top 5 moments of SLR. That's number 5.
Yeah, very much possible. Very possible.
As a Roglu on the back of Nico, they're battling for P7. And
I will never make an apology for my bad jokes. Never. Chief very close to the back of Eversnacks at the moment.
yeah,
This could be an interesting overtake. He should be wanting to get past, I'm sure, Chief. He wants to finish on a podium if he can, I'm sure. With the penalties that are involved around here as well. Oh, Chief does have one himself. Lepson retired.
Lepson has retired. Someone else is off at the hairpin, and it's Max. No, Max, this is not the way this is supposed to go. Oh, who else is off? Eversnacks is off.
Eversnacks is off. Suddenly the race bursts into life, and several people all come off, and it looks as though Eversnacks has lost it. In that
how has that
Max course,
happened?
at the hairpin, like Max goes
He's
off,
gone straight on.
and then something. It's caused a concertina effect essentially, and I think that's maybe caught Eversnacks up.
Oh.
With the way the grid was kind of mixed up a bit there, and people being lapped and things like that kind of thing, and that's very unfortunate for Eversnacks. He was having a great race up to the lap point.
Yep.
Fighting with Ocean Chief in 5th, and then all of a sudden that happens, and yeah, be interesting to see what exactly happened there from everybody's different points of view. But that's one for the after the race.
Right,
We continue on. There's no safety car, just yellow flags.
I've still got yellow flags on my screen everywhere, and they're racing hard.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to assume that we are green, and we are racing. Floor is behind Sunny Henke now. So I think it's been like that for a couple of laps. There's just nothing made of it, and as Roglu is losing to Nico now. So it's really Tild and Azukin that are close, and Floor, Sunny Henke, as I said before, they're really close. Chaka and Totska as well.
Floor's had a very impressive race. He's up 7 positions at the moment to be in 4th place, and now he's on the back of Snell for a podium.
Oh, Tild's gone for it on the inside of Azukin. Doesn't go for it as much as Danny, doesn't commit as much, and that might cost him track position.
There's not enough space in this corner for 2 cars, so bit of contact there.
They make enough space. Very
but
close.
But Zygon holds on to it.
Zygon weaving a bit, and Zygon's let him through.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe it was an illegal overtake, possibly. Well, he went on the outside, so I can't see why that would happen. But
well,
I'm not sure. Maybe
it's
possible that because of the contact. Oh, there's a car around there.
That's Eversnacks' car. Still there. We're on board of it.
Somebody gets a penalty there for ignoring yellow flags. I'm wondering if the yellow flags are still out because the car's still there. It hasn't been removed.
Wait, so
something kind of bug's happening here, and now because people are overtaking and undertaking, and the yellow flags are still there, they're having to give the place back because it's illegal overtake. So it could be a major bug here that's caused havoc and is causing problems here with this yellow flag.
And Max
Virtual safety car comes out now.
Max retires. He sets the fastest lap and says that's it. He's 38.6 for the Ferrari, and he has retired from the session. So hopefully this virtual safety car resets things.
Fingers crossed. We just don't really want to have to race the rest of the race under yellow flags. I'm not sure what would happen in
Well-
that situation, but
Well, whoever said 4 DNFs, you're currently correct.
yep, we currently have 4 at the moment, but only 18 laps into 31 at the moment. Just past the halfway mark. There's still a lot of racing still to go.
Yep, and my dog is seeing what's out the window right now. With all the fireworks going off. DRS is enabled, so it's fixed on my screen. The fact
Yep.
that it's just the
Track still has yellow all over it.
Yeah.
But, yeah,
Oh,
it doesn't
Sally
say
Henke
the-
and Floor! Sally Henke losing the rear. Floor gets through and says thank you very much. I'll be taking that podium position. And Floor gets that position up into P3. 15 points currently to his name.
So Floor just needs to keep this clean now and try and create, get Snell out of his DRS. So let's have a look in the quiet spy at the penalty situations at the moment. So Oops has 2 warnings, but he has got a great gap between him and Ace Boy anyway. But Ace Boy also on 2 warnings. Floor currently has 2 penalties.
Snelly Henke goes back up the inside of Floor. No messing around.
No messing around at all, straight back in the lead. So Schnell has 0 warnings whatsoever. Floor has 2 penalties, so 6
Oh.
seconds worth of penalties there for Floor.
Oof.
Chief just sitting with the 1, and Nico has a 5-second time penalty, and my guess is for speeding in the pit lane.
Yep, I did
Uh,
see that before. Oh, Snelly Henke
Team-
goes wide. And that allows Floor to have another go. Round 2 with these 2, and Floor gets it once again. He gets that position for the 2nd time. Will Snelly Henke be able to do anything about that? Not on this particular occasion.
Good battle between those 2 here. We've got definitely Bot trying to get some kind of recovery going on the go here as he tries to get past Shaka here.
He's gonna go for
Got
it.
DRS down at the straight. He's going to go for it. He's got the inside. Shaka's almost certainly going to leave the space and let him through. Yeah, he won't fight that. Shaka, one of the more sensible drivers on the grid, knows when he can race and when he can't. And he's not going to try and fight definitely Bot too hard. Definitely Bot back on the back of Torska now as well. Looking to try and get back into the points paying positions, but it's not looking good for his championship at the moment. It's maybe want to write off Singapore, not one of his better tracks by the looks of things with the issues he's had. And it's been a number of times he's had these issues at the beginning of a race, and usually he can make up for it in the race itself. Later on in the race, Danny picks up a 3-second time penalty. That could be big for him.
He's 14
Easy.
seconds behind Azaroglu in 7th position. So these guys...
But I mean, he's not too far away out of the points position, so if Tilda and Zyken can maybe catch up a bit on him, it could cost him points in the end, that penalty, Danny, there. But it depends on obviously penalties around him. I know Teasy's looking relatively clean at the moment, so is Nico. And Ocean Chief is in a good position as well with only the 1 walk penalty, but so he's technically ahead of Floor at the moment in the standings, but Snell, with 0 warnings whatsoever, is looking good for a podium.
Yeah. So Snell just needs to keep up with Floor. Stay within those 6 seconds, and he will be good for the rest of the race.
Ace Boy is currently thinking to himself, the 14-second gap to Oops is too much at the moment, most likely. So
Yep.
he just wants to ensure that he gets P2 and gets the maximum number of points he can for the championship charge.
Speaking of
It'll be-
the championship charge, definitely bought the championship leader goes up the inside of his teammate and gets position 12 off.
Yep. Looking to get back in the points, but even if he gets up, I mean, the best he can hope for at this stage, I think, with 10 laps to go, is maybe P8, 7, something like that kind of thing. P8, really, with a gap to T-Easy, is the best he can hope for, really. And he's talking about an immense drive from here to there. As Ace Boy picks up a 3-second penalty. It won't cost him too much at the end of the race if he keeps the gaps as they are, but gotta be careful from all. There's an Alfa Romeo around that Shaka. That's unfortunate for him.
And he's gonna get going.
Doesn't look like he's got any damage, so that's the bright side of it, I suppose. But Dr. Uther is going to close in quickly. Going to have overheated tyres there for a little bit. May not be able to put the foot down as much as he wants.
Yep, maybe not. So we'll get back on the battle of Definitely Bot, and I see Definitely Bot can definitely score some points there, no pun intended, as Azakin is on.
Looks like he's very close to the back of Cheese already, kind of thing. But yeah, 1 or 2 points is the best he can maybe hope for, possibly if he gets a fastest lap in. But it's looking unlikely with a 38 set by Max on the softs before he retired.
Yep, and looks like Definitely Bot's going to have a look round the outside. Backs out. We're going to try and go for the better exit there, which he will get, and way before the braking zone. So a good move from the Mercedes of Bot to get past Ozzy, and that is him up into P11, one more position until the all sacred points.
Yep, but Ace Boy, he's looking very good for P2 at the moment, so that's even if Definitely Boy gets P10, P9, P8 or so, I think he's going to lose out a lot to Ace Boy in the championship. T-Easy, currently 3rd in the championship, looking to close in maybe on Nico at the moment, kind of thing. He's looking quicker than Nico for a while. And now that Nico and Flo are no longer fighting, they've got the 2 racing points in between at the moment. Maybe Nico T-Easy can take advantage of that.
Oh no! They were going side by side, Hesse and Totska, and Etsy just went straight into the wall. Oh no! And it's just a bit of a massive lock-up, massive understatement for the Renault. And into the wall, and he has wing damage. Oh no!
So that might be race over for his the glory of last week. 7th, I think, the 7th place he got last week in his first in his debut race is over. Beginner's luck is run out, and Singapore claims yet another victim. There's been a lot of those today in Tier 4, and I imagine we'll see even more of that in some of the higher tiers as well, because of how much closer the cars fight on track in those tiers.
Yep, Tara saying in chat that the trick is to time your winning streak just right, so that you win the championship but don't get promoted. How about you just win the top tier?
There also says that Tara's been looking after his tyres this entire time and is speeding up a bit now. But the gap to Schnell, 3 seconds at the moment. And he's got a 3-second penalty over Schnell as well. So it looks like the last podium paying position is going to go Schnell's way, by those things, with the penalties around him. T-Easy picks up a penalty there as well, so that could be big in the battle between him and Nico.
And Nessie gets a 5-second penalty for across the pit lane while pit lane exit white line. It's going to help him in the moment of this race, although he is P16, 9 seconds behind his closest competitor.
T-Easy has managed to get within DRS range of Nico now, so there could be a battle brewing there, as well as Dr. Uther and Shaka also battling on track. Definitely Bot also closing in on Zyken now for that last points playing position. So still a lot going on as we come into the closing edge of this race.
Yeah, Uther just running on bottom now through the final sector. Running a bit too wide there. I thought he might have had some wing damage on that Ferrari, and nope, the car just understeering on those hard tyres. As he makes his way through the final sector.
Dirty air on this track is going to be a huge factor for the understeering of walls and things like that. I think you've really got to kind of be well aware of that. The dirty air in this game, much worse than last year's game.
Yep, I can vouch for that. As Azakin and definitely Bart going side by side, and Bart gets the move done and up into P10. So Bart will be scoring 1 point in this race.
1 point so far.
Oh yeah, so far.
He's going to be quickly on the tail of Tilda by the looks of things. Only 2 second gap to Tilda now.
9.6 after that till Danny. So I think the highest he'll be able to achieve is P if he puts in some qualifying laps. I almost
P9 might be where he actually finishes up. P8 might be a stretch, but it depends on the penalties. There's a few penalties to come into play here.
Yep, this looks like almost goes in the back of Shaka through the corner before the single post lane just locks up. Almost, doesn't quite, has a difference. And he's gonna just wait now. By this time, 6 tenths is the gap, and they're battling for P13 are these two. Bit like real life with the Ferrari and the Alfa Romeo. Not saying that this game is at all realistic. As they come through the final sector.
Looks like Teasy's fallen a bit off the back of Nico. If Teasy's, I'm sure he's got a 3-second penalty. At least I'll just double check that. But Nico definitely has a 5-second penalty. So he needs to stay within 2 seconds to be able to jump at the end of the race. Maybe Nico's made a mistake there because he's just jumped 5/10 on the back of him. But definitely, but already looking at Tilda. Looks to go. Gets it done, yeah, with ease. So a lot of these moves coming here on that straight there. So it looks like that's the place to make the overtakes.
Yep.
Is on that first straight, DRS straight into is it turn 4?
Yeah. Turn 5.
Turn 5.
Yeah, because the first complex is 3 corners, turn 4, and then into turn 5.
Yeah. Definitely got into the 9th place. He's got a lot of time to make up now onto Danny though, and Danny much quicker than the drivers he's overtaken. No disrespect intended, but not going to make it as easy maybe as the drivers that definitely got overtaken so far.
Snell has front wing damage according to Terra, but we don't see any visual. But he has lost a lot of time.
Visual, no?
Has lost a lot of time, so I'll take Terra's word for it.
The penalties for Scott, I think he's got 6 seconds at the moment, so he can wave goodbye to the podium essentially. But could be a podium here for Ocean Chief if damage is slowing Schnell down now. If you're looking to make a move on his teammate here, I'm wondering whether his teammate's going to recognise the fact that he's just quicker and let him past, or whether he's going to try and hang on for this, because Schnell, without a penalty, is still in range of this podium. But well, maybe not now.
He lets him through.
Lets him through, yeah. So probably the sensible choice there by Schnell. He realises that Chief's going to be much quicker than him. He doesn't want to fight with his teammate. He can stick happy with the 4th and get his teammate get the podium.
Yep. So
great to see.
And then, if it was me, I definitely would have fought, but it's different racing, different decisions. Obviously, not everyone's going to make the same decision as you. And Dr. Uther finally looks to get the move done on Shaq. He's on the outside of turn 4. Oh, Shaq's around into the wall.
I'm wondering maybe if they're fighting a bit too hard for those positions there.
Oh, Oops is pitting.
Oops is pitting.
He has pitting.
He's got a 20-second gap almost. So going on to the softs now, he may.
He's not going to rejoin in the lead. What has he done?
No.
Why?
I'm not sure what he's done there, but I mean, on the soft tyres with 5 laps to go, they're going to be very quick. So maybe he just wants to have a bit of fun at the end of the race and get the fastest lap, as well as have a fight with Ace Boy. But that's big news for Ace Boy. Big news, because if he can hold off, and we've seen this before as well from Ace Boy, he is terrific at holding somebody off. As we've got a. It's check as Alpha, I think it was, off the track.
Oh, hang on. Definitely Bot off! No! So Definitely Bot will not be scoring any points today. He has he has wing damage. So Definitely Bot not scoring any points today.
Oh, and he's coming straight into the pits. Is he going to continue, or is he going to retire, I wonder, as well? So
I think
that's
retire.
The 5th retirement after Shaka there. So none of the boys in chat predicted that correctly, but a SC now would be epic, as the hammer says there, because that would massively fall into the hands of Oops, as everybody else would have to pit for the softs. Danny picks up a 3-second time penalty here with a yellow flag.
Well, if there was a safety car, Oops would have to wait about 3 laps to actually go. And if I was everyone else, I'd probably just stay out unless you're behind. If you're Ace, you don't really want to give up track position like that, especially from someone as fast as Oops, who was 4.3 behind. So
yeah, but it also means that if penalties would come massively more into play as well, with the gaps all disappearing essentially. But definitely, Bot does retire, so that's 5 retirements, 6 retirements in total in Singapore. I was interested to see so few and such low numbers on the DNF predictions for such a difficult and difficult track with walls everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Oops at the moment is closing into that gap on Ace Boy very, very quickly. So get the feeling that he is going to make short work of Ace Boy, especially Ace Boy being on very, very old hards. Those old hards against very, very fresh softs. As good as Ace Boy is, I don't think he's got a chance of defending against Oops here.
Yep. It's going to be very difficult. Very, very difficult. If he can keep it, that's driver of the day. If he can stay ahead of someone who is on very fast, soft tyres, that would be a driver of the day performance from Ace if he can do that. But it doesn't look probable. 1.9 seconds Oops has got on his PB, and he's gained 6 seconds in 2 laps. Just shows how fast those soft compound tyres are. But one thing that Ace Boy might count on, Oops might overestimate and go straight into the back of him and give himself wing damage.
Possible. Very possible, but he is going to get DRS from this ghosted car in front of him as well, which may help him fend him off, but I don't think he's going to be able to do it. The grip on those soft tyres is just so much more than those old hards at the moment. But does get the DRS, but he's going to go for the move here into turn 1.
I don't think Ace Boy is going to give up too easily now, and he's definitely not.
He is fighting it, but he's not going to be able to do it because he's got the inside on the inside line in the little section.
It's just...
there he is, half a second in front again already, and he's just going to run away now. But don't think Ace Boy's ever going to tyres are ever going to catch up with those softs anymore, because Ace Boy's tyres are also going to be on the ragged edge at the moment as well. So, Oops back into the lead. Ace Boy back to his 18 points instead of 25, which I don't think he can be too displeased with. But at the moment, Ocean Chief, if he closes within another second of floor, he'll be getting his a podium here as well, I think.
Yep, so just another second, and that's it for Chief. Obviously, P4 is still a fantastic result for the racing point. Oops is looking like he will take this one as we get closer and closer to the final lap. As we have a 3-way fight for P5, Sandy Heki, Nico and Azaroglu. Azaroglu's been stuck on the back of Nico for a long time! And he goes straight into the back of Nico and gives himself some damage. And Azaroglu, really understandably frustrated with himself, weaves the wheel to let Nico know that he broke up? I guess so.
I'm not sure, but you can't put the blame on the driver in front there. I'm very surprised to see Teasy not giving the position back, because it doesn't seem as though he's gained that position fairly. But because he has bumped in at the back of him, essentially taking advantage of the oversteer or whatever that Nico gets for that to get the better exit and overtake him. But maybe Teasy sees it differently. We don't know. We're waiting to see after the race once the FIA decide on.
Yep.
But, with that damage there, I can't imagine that Nico's not going to regain the position in short order here.
Not right now on the outside.
We've seen Nico has struggled to overtake people today. He had this struggle with Floor in that battle there, and he lost out of that, and he's struggled since to overtake people there. And he's been a bit of a sitting duck himself, so I'm wondering whether his setup is maybe not optimal here for this.
Around. Oh no! Don't do that.
And he's blocking the tunnel at the moment.
Just to help his teammate, make sure he does get that position, but he's losing damage, losing wing. And Nico's on the outside, but Azaroglu keeps the position. This is looking very good for Snelly, who's getting ahead. 2.8 seconds. So, yeah, looking good for him. Chief is not pulling in on floor.
See now, so many of these drivers are here now and in the points paying positions, like Torska and Dr. Uther now, maybe if any more incidents happen, kind of thing, could be battling for a points paying position. But Tilda as well, in the points as well, kind of thing, battling here because of other drivers is basically essentially not being able to keep it together for the entire race.
And Azaroglu once again, as they're pushing now. Oops, that's another fastest lap, another SLR record, and Nico gets the position for now. And he does.
Finally gets an overtake done, and he gets it done cleanly as well.
Nice again,
into the Singapore thing.
3.9 seconds through P6. to claim a top 5 position. So I think that's going to be very difficult for Nico, and I think he has quite a few penalties as well.
Interesting here is Ocean Chief is very, very close to breaking the 3-second barrier to floor, which would give him the podium.
He's
Jinking about all over the place.
Well, he's got some DRS now as he's come up to some lapped cars.
I think Floor also got the DRS from those lap cars as well.
That's Boosted Mess and Azakin who are battling, and Boosted Mess loses the position to Azakin and Chief. They don't need to move out the way to the lapped cars anymore, because obviously they've got you can just go through them, which is one of the better additions that Codemasters have added. It's still pretty distracting though.
It is. It's not something that I enjoy doing, especially for drivers who drive cockpit cam as well, because you can barely see a thing as you're driving through somebody. So it's very difficult to steer or even point your car in the right direction. You've really got to slow down a lot when doing that. So it's always been a rule, or an unwritten rule, I suppose, to move out of the way as if the car was a real car and it was going to hit you, essentially, kind of thing. And not every driver on the grid does that. I'm looking here and I'm thinking Tilda has done 27 laps on the hard tyres, by the way.
Yeah.
Notice that there. He pitted lap 1 on the soft after damage, and he's done 27 laps on the hard. So they must be screaming, those tyres. And he's done extremely well to get them to the end and get into the points paying positions by doing that. Because I'm thinking if he pitted again, he wouldn't be doing that. Chief picks up a 3-second time penalty, so the podium's no longer on the cards. That's huge.
Unless Floor picks up one, but it is the last lap. So.
4 is close to many as well, I think. He's got lots of warnings and things there. Danny also picks up another penalty as well. Interesting to see how that might affect his position, but he's a long way off TZ.
One's close, so we're just going to follow
TZ looks like he's lost out on that battle there between him and Nico, and Nico's now gained a gap because of that damage on TZ's front wing. So that's battle over for those two after that. Nico got back ahead, but Snell 6 seconds off now as well to Ocean Chief. So we're seeing how much damage on the wing, if you decide to stay out with it, costs you in time. It does cost you seconds per lap. Could be that Floor could be on for a very impressive podium, because his drive has been immense today. He's gained a lot of positions. Danny as well, again at the points paying positions from P17 on the grid. Also a great drive from him. You start thinking about driver of the day. Looks like we may have lost Bailey again. Got a lot of crackling on their line again there. So yeah, looks like it was Bailey's mics decided to give up the goose once more. Maybe give up the ghost is the better phrase considering the time of year. Oops wins the Singapore Grand Prix in style, and Ace Boy brings it home cleanly in second place. So it's going to do his championship charge wonders. Looks like Floor is going to hold on to the podium position to take third. So great drive from him. He would be certainly my driver of the day. He's done very well to come up from outside of the points at the start. But Nico picks up a 5 second surf penalty. See if he holds his position for TZ. He doesn't, so TZ gets that position on penalties anyway. And Danny, Tilda and Tosca will most likely round out the top 10. Ocean Chief there with his return to tier 4, picking up a very respectable P4 in this race as well. Danny picks up the P8 then. And Tilda will cross the line. P9. Solid race from him. He started in P10, finishes in P9. Very well done to get the tyres 30 laps to the end. Very impressive. I'd be interested to know what kind of percentage where they were on at the end. And Dr. Ruther will be the last to finish the line, last of the unlapped drivers to cross the line. Comes through the final corner now to finish the Singapore Grand Prix. So big congratulations to Oops for winning this one in style. I'm certain we'll see him in higher tiers in the future. Ace Boy makes up a lot of ground in the championship in the end. The game gives driver of the day to Danny, but I am giving mine to Floor because he had a very impressive drive. He was involved in a lot of battles, kept things clean, no damage, going a couple of penalties, and in the end, those penalties didn't cost him because other drivers making the same mistakes. So I'd certainly give it to him. I'll have a look and see. And the thing is, any drivers got no penalties. Don't think Danny did either. He would be my next in line for driver of the day. Interesting to see what chat thinks. Not to worry, Bailey. You just give up on that now. I'll take over and do the interviews and things like that kind of thing. And wrap this up quick because I'm really hungry. I still haven't had my tea. So, Oops there finishes the race with no penalties whatsoever. So does Schnell Henke as well. So honourable mentions to both of them for such clean races. Schnell gained 3 positions, but Floor to gain that podium with the penalties as well. Very impressive from him. Danny, an honourable mention as well to get up to P8 from P17. Boosted Mess finishes in last place in the grid on of the finishing drivers, but does extremely well to finish the race in itself, kind of thing, with only 1 penalty as well. As Icon again, no penalties as well. Unfortunate race for him. He got caught up in a couple of incidents. Possibly see a couple of reports come from him after the race, but lost for maybe a few things for the FIA to do this one, but it was a relatively clean race, a relatively respectable race between the drivers, and a very entertaining one as well. Lots of action to be had as we have finals up there. So Ocean Chief, Schnell, T-Easy, Nico, all having great races there in the end, keeping things relatively clean. This is what Singapore is about. The guys who keep things relatively clean, finish above, and obviously we saw T-Easy and Schnell Henke pay the price of bumping a wall at the end of the session there. So we move on to the interviews. Let's get a couple of guys in. So Boosted Mess will bring in for a quick one here. So Boosted Mess, last place of the running drivers there. Not where you want to be, but you finished the race. It's a very difficult race to finish. You didn't have too many problems with incidents and things like that. Talk us through your race and how that went for you.
That was alright actually. I didn't spin, so I'm finally a race.
I've held my tongue, but I've got to say, Bailey, man, you've ruined it.
Yeah, you're live again.
Bailey, what are you doing to me, man? Jesus. Well, no, I'm only joking. But yeah, anyway, back to the interviews because I'm really hungry. I want to get dinner. But yeah, back to the interview. Yeah, so yeah, things are kind of improving week on week for you there, Bailey. Kind of thing. So yeah, as you were saying there, you've been given a few pointers and tips and changed a few things. Camera and brake settings and things like that kind of thing, and you haven't had a spin this race, so it was a good race all in all kind of thing. So see that you're getting a lot cleaner, no spins, less incidents each race kind of thing. Is it now time to start working on the pace a bit and start competing a bit more? Do you think?
Hopefully, yeah. I mean, that's the idea. I mean, I would imagine it maybe take another race or so to get settled with the new settings and that, but I'm feeling a lot better with it, and the car feels a lot more stable with it. I don't know if that's like a placebo thing or that from the camera settings point of view, but it certainly feels a lot more comfortable now than it did before.
So which camera setting are you now using? Is it cockpit cam that you've got, or
no?
TV?
It's the TV pod. But before it was a combination of things. The positioning of the camera in relation to the car was a mess. My field of view was a mess. It was awful. I think Iceman just was watching me one evening when I was doing a practice session, and I think his words were that his eyes were bleeding. So
yeah, it's something that every driver comes up against, kind of thing, that you have to kind of get the settings and the customizing right to you. And it takes a while to do that kind of thing. So glad to hear that you're kind of getting there with that, and hopefully things continue to improve. But we'll move on to the next interview. Thanks very much for well, there's no interviews, I suppose. Nobody here. Oh well. So that falls right into my hands, I suppose. I'm really hungry, so don't particularly want to stay here too long. But it's good to see that you're kind of sticking with things kind of thing and improving as the time goes on, and hopefully we can see you improve more, because we've seen this from a number of drivers up and down the grid at the moment, kind of things, and some of these drivers kind of improve quite quickly and rapidly, and you seem to be doing that. So fingers crossed. You can
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. Hope the trend keeps going up.
start to
Slowly but
move.
surely.
Yeah. Fingers crossed. You enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you. You too.
Okay, so it doesn't look as though we've got anybody else to interview at the moment. It would have been interesting to get maybe Ace Boy in, or definitely Bot for the championship interviews, but not to worry. We shall move on. Next week we have what's next week? I'm not entirely sure what next week is. Comes after Singapore on the calendar. Singapore and then Russia next week. So Russia, yeah, very interesting track. Lots of walls there as well, so maybe some few more incidents and things like that kind of thing. But yeah, that's suppose it for this week. Thank you very much for joining us on the stream, and please don't forget to subscribe and like the this stream. But everybody enjoy the rest of their evenings, and we'll see you tomorrow for Tier 3, Singapore.